Oh, shit.
Бросаю гранату! Вот твои патроны! Возьми! Брай! Сюда же!
Age 23, you're fucking imaginative, aren't you? So, I can't be asked for luckers tonight. Not get me on here for long. Typical, really. So either the AK or it's a fucking Age 23. No such thing as balance when it comes to those sort of weapons. You have to use the same old weapons that everybody else uses. Because otherwise you can't do shit. Typical, the fucking thumbnail from YouTube has not been updated. Although I will say with the server, if the admin's on, I might not play on this one. Because this was the AD 1936 was the bastard who threw me out. He banned me instead of kicking me for some reason. Just gonna play it safe, although apparently if you're gonna get thrown out of server, you're gonna get thrown out of server anyway. Just spawn me literally in front of a tank, why don't you? Wow, 18 damage. Do more mooning at it.
Hostile tank spotted. Spotted a soldier.
Right, I thought this server had 300% bullet damage. I'm not in the mood for the vehicles, and I'm not in the mood for lockers. Frankly, it's probably a bad night. It's probably a bad night for Battlefield. I'm tired as it is.
Enemy soldier spotted. Spotted a hostile soldier.
think that one with it. Not even a suppression assist for all of that. Yeah, this is not 300% bullet damage. I hit him 5 times, for God's sake. Yeah, this is not. That is not 300% bullet damage. This is probably killing like 2-3 hits at long range. I really don't like being in here because I'm not in the defilade from that angle. Oh shit. I don't know where that shot came from. Oh, fuck off, tank.
Here's your ammo. Pick it up.
Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
So that for now, and that is cover.
Here's your ammo. Go get it.
Objective Charlie is under our control.
Nice.
Got eyes on an enemy helicopter to your east.
Ah, my dad was playing on the server yesterday, and it was 300. Had a 300% bullet multiplier, which was honestly really the only reason why I wanted to play on this server.
Hostile soldier spotted.
Hey Josh, welcome to the stream, mate. How you doing? Move from there. Near the gas line, you never know, might go up. Or steam line, or whatever that pipe is that blows up. Put this on full auto in case we need it. Trying to run with a sort of traditional AK style loadout. Closest thing I have is the RPK. I am getting close to getting an airsoft AK. I've been alright. Fucked up my second driving test, but that's, you know, I was very close to passing. I got 2 major faults, and one was a complete stupid error. I just completely fucked up. It was just me being forgetful, and the second one was actually caused by the first one. So hadn't I fucked up in the first place, I would have passed as it is. And I only had 3 minor faults, so it would have been quite a good pass. But oh well. Third time's a charm. But on good plus side, had a shitload of orders. Shouldn't be swearing because I represent the business, but I had a load of orders from the for the business. It's the sort of time of year for people for bird tables and hedgehog boxes, and we have a resident hedgehog in our garden, which is really good. I've turned into a right sort of. I'm not a tree hugging hippie by any stretch of the imagination. But I've definitely become a lot more interested in animals, especially birds. I suppose it just goes with the territory of the business. But yeah, other than that, it's going alright. It's mildly stressful having loads of orders, but it's frankly, it's a good problem to have. Thank you, Josh. Alright.
Tank spotted.
I've got C4 on, which I rarely run with.
Spotted a hostile.
Fucking tanks, do my head in. Tanks just roll up. On Battlefield 3, you would not go flying into an objective in the tank. You would not go charging into it, because you would get blown up by C4 or landmines or RPGs within about 4 seconds of arriving. Unfortunately, that's not the case on this game. A tank can drive straight into an objective, absorb almost all of the damage. It can absorb pretty much all of the damage you could deal to it, and then after all of that, got ya. After all of that, it'll blow you up and then just fuck off again. It'll just disappear. B keeps flashing. I think it's just glitched. There's a bit of a bug where the objectives will flash, even if they're not being contested.
Spotted a hostile jet.
I just spot things eventually. There we are. Ah, I see ya.
Enemy machine gun.
Oh, come on. Ooh. I don't know what I'm getting panicking for. I want to make sure that dude doesn't get set up in the machine gun nest like he did earlier. Where was it? About.
Spotted a hostile.
Where's the... I don't know where the 0 is on these sites. Sometimes it's at the base of the site. It's all over the place. There we are. Got ya.
Spotted a hostile.
You like the RPK. So do there. Oh, come on! I was hitting him, and he clipped me with the fucking ring mirror of it, or the fucking carriage, the front rail system, not the bull bar, but the sort of luggage bar. Fucking 8 road kills on there. You run into the side of a moving quad bike and you're dead. Fuck you. Kill me with that cheesiest. Ah shit, he's C4 in you, mate. You got to get him. Oh man. Got him. Ah fuck. I see where that's from. That's from. It's not where I was expecting it from. Press. No, I'm reloading. Got plenty of rounds in this mag. Where's that vehicle going? Please somebody's coming. Oh fuck.
Throwing grenade.
I'm waiting for that pipe to explode, but I think he should definitely get the fuck away from it. Oh no, it's already blown up. In that case. I don't know why I wasted it on the infantry. Could have just shot him, but... Oh, what's that do down the end? No. It's the only real decent bit of cover I would use around here, and even then it's... I don't like Dawnbreaker. Frankly, there isn't really many maps I like on this game anymore because I used to play this a lot on previous generation, you know, Xbox 360, and it was alright. And then they did the stupid patches that me and my father and Connor heavily disagreed with on a lot of them. And then went over to next gen, and they thought, you know what, we're going to chuck loads more vehicles in. After having, why can't I run? I can't run. Alright. I'm going to find a different server because I think the next one up is Lancang and I don't like Lancang. Yeah, basically, they, long story short, if you've watched this channel for any period of time, you know that I'm not particularly keen on vehicles. They're not balanced properly at all against infantry, so infantry usually don't stand a chance. The only vehicle you have a remote chance with Are certain air vehicles. Stealth jets against infantry, they don't really have anything to them. Attack jets are annoying, but you can. Where's the PBF one gone? You can dig your heels in against them, and you can impede them. But with everything else, it's just a pain in the arse. It's all the ground. All the ground vehicles. Boats aren't too bad. I would argue that it's down to the fact that they don't have reactive armor, so at least you can do a bit more damage. But everything is just, there's so many things stacked up against infantry when you're using vehicles. I hope there's no admins on. The only server I will play on with admins really is PBF, and that's because I was talking to the PBF admin and I said, "Is there any rules?" And he went, "Nope, absolutely none at all." So, I've killed the admins on there several times and not been thrown out. I wouldn't do that on any other bloody server, especially on lockers because they're kind of gunning for me. Frankly, I'm thinking about going back to lockers at this rate. My character, it would be really useful if my guy could run. No, it's packed out. Oh no, there we are. Button was definitely clicking, you know, it was... What the fuck? We own that objective. Oh. Oh, for fuck's sake. The one fucking moment when C4 would be really useful, and I don't fucking have it. Oh. Oh yeah, no, you suck a cock. Kill me in fucking 2 shots with that thing when I've got to pump about 8 in someone with this bloody RPK. Fucking go on lockers. I'm going to run around with a shotgun and I'm going to be a complete twat. Right, I would say it's nothing twatish about using a shotgun. I'm a bit tired. It's too fucking late. It's nearly 12 at night. I'm really fucked off that the fucking thumbnail has again not worked. Might as well just put my arse on it. And I'm just tired. But I will, hopefully you'll be nice and relaxed in a second. Don't want to get my fucking hopes that way. Yeah, I took a brief hiatus from it, probably about 4 weeks of not touching Battlefield. I literally almost exploded on the last few games. It was... No hits were registering. I was getting thrown out of every single server for violating non-existent rules. To the point where I started messaging admins and saying, "Why the fucking hell am I being thrown out?" Point out to me. You're gonna have to highlight it to me what rule I broke, because there are so far I can't see any rules that I break. I don't like rules. I hate rules in servers, and I will happily play alongside those rules. I will abide by those rules to stay in the server. But when you start getting thrown out of servers which are allegedly no rules, you start thinking, you know what? It's all no rules until the admin gets killed, in which case it's draconian as... It's very draconian. I'm going to sit in my cell here. I like this little cell. I might stream some more Prison Architect as well. Got a really nice, relatively large minimum security prison going. Had a bit of a contraband surge, which was caused by the game glitching, and for some reason it permanently registered a shakedown. So it thought that there was a shakedown constantly active, so I couldn't perform other shakedowns. And it also, there's a new feature I think they're planning on introducing called Tunnel Search, and it had the icon for it, but because it hasn't been introduced into the game fully yet, I don't know if they're still working with it. I think it's not a dead game. They still have updates and stuff for it. But I couldn't help but notice that the icon was not anything I had ever seen. It was not an option I had in the emergencies menu. and I did a bit of googling, and apparently it's a tunnel search symbol, but it's not available yet. So basically, and you can't do shakedowns and tunnel searches at the same time, when allegedly. So that was locking out shakedowns, so I couldn't do that. So I had to do manual block searches, which took a long time to do, and whereas shakedowns were really, really thorough, because I can't search everything in the prison manually, which a shakedown would do. So what I ended up doing, I ended up with several attempts of tunnelling out, but we have a moat around, I have a moat around my prison, so there isn't really anywhere they can go, because they can't dig through water. The only way they can dig to get out is all the way up towards the other side of the prison, underneath the reception and security room, full of guard dogs, and with armed guards and sniper towers nearby. I mean, the sniper towers everywhere. After I had my, I was trying to make it a sort of, it's a maximum security prison for minimum security inmates that haven't had a single escape or death in absolutely ages. The last death I had was some bloke who got put into maximum security for not murdering an inmate, but he was in for murder, and he'd been attacking loads of prisoners, and I put him on permanent lockdown in what was going to be a maximum security wing, before I decided against it. Instead, now I just use permanent lockup rather than segregate them into different units. And for some reason, my guards didn't feed him, and yeah, he starved a bit. But this prison also has protected custody to it as well, which I've used several times in fact, which is for snitches and ex-law enforcement. Find out who they are immediately when they get into the jail, and they immediately get put into...
Here's your ammo.
I think in the UK, protected custody is known as administrative segregation. And solitary confinement is the seg, which is segregation, I believe. I've been doing a lot of reading about prisons. I've taken a real interest in like, especially capital punishment and stuff like that, because I'm, for the most part, against it. And I was just reading about it as well. I was reading about prisons and all that. It's really quite interesting. It's, I am prone, I don't know if it's down to the Asperger's, but I'm prone to, if I get caught in like something like I'm interested in, like with Prison Architect, I was interested in prisons, I ended up just sitting in bed in bed at night on Wikipedia reading about them constantly.
Ammo, go get it.
Oh well, I like reading. I think it's something that should be instilled in every person. You can't force it into people, obviously. I don't support that, but reading is probably one of the most important things. Oh, for God's sake, now my controller's doing that thing. I'll explain what's happening in a second. Basically, there's a bit of loose plastic in my controller, and it likes to occasionally fall to the bottom of like the trigger pit, trigger wells of where the triggers will go into, recess into. I can't think of the right word. I sound like a right twat right now. And basically, that loose piece of plastic can get jammed underneath either one of the triggers. Best case scenario, it doesn't happen. Well, so best case scenario when it does happen is you can't A. Worst case scenario is you see an enemy like I did then. I pulled the trigger initially and nothing came out. Thankfully, the plastic was pushed out of the way by me attempting to pull it, so that sorted it. Okay, he's no longer there. Oh, he's there. Any teammates going to deal with him? Fucking bunny hopping little faggot. It's jumping around like that. Hate bunny hopping. If I designed jumping in this game, or if I had anything to do with this game, I would make it such a pain in the ass to play compared to what they've made it. Make it so that when you jump, your character stops and jumps instead. Jumpers should only be used for vaulting, not fucking jumping around like a fucking bunny rabbit. You will not be able to... Oh, thanks, teammate. You won't be able to do that with £60 worth of tactical gear on. Oh, the trigger's fucking jamming up again. This controller's fucked.
I got your ammo. Pick it up.
That fucking dude who shot me, I would have killed him earlier when he ran out. Had my fucking gun decided, had my controller decided to work. Typical, really.
Let's patch you up.
I hate this little area here when we push them back to Echo, because it just becomes purgatory. I don't run into the infirmary or out into Echo because of the really retarded spawns, where you'll have enemies spawning right behind you. So he says running into the infirmary, 2 headshots with a shotgun and nothing. But they seem to go, oh well, there's only, the logic behind that is there was probably only 1 pellet hit him in the head, despite the fact I hit him in the head with a piece of fucking lead, the size of like a Malteser.
Here's your ammo.
Double up buck is not small. It's not like birdshot where it's really fine. It's fucking huge. There's probably about 8 rounds in a cartridge of double up buck, but each one is, you know, size of like a Smartie. So one of them going into your head, in fact 2 of them going into your head, is still going to do something. Besides which, as well, shotguns are never realistic in first-person shooters. The spread of, say, an 870 would still be probably within about a metre or 100 odd metres. The grouping is incredible of shotgun in shotguns when you actually see one being fired against a target. Sawed-off shotguns have a shit grouping, but that's because you've got a smaller barrel. I can sort of understand that would make it overpowered, but then when they reduce the damage at range as well, it's like either I hit them or I didn't hit them. None of this. You hit them, but you hit them gently. Yeah, G18 does not like being used on semi-auto. Trying to stop them coming around this corridor, which they often seem to do. Itchy ear.
Here's your ammo.
Because we've got the outside secured, we've got the infirmary secured, but as long as it's open here...
Sorry.
Come on, come around that corner. Legends never die. Someone's got frag rounds on a shotty.
Here's your ammo. Go get it. Throwing grenade.
Now we're losing guys in the infirmary. Shit, you can't blow out all of these walls. They put Levolution on the most ridiculous things, but you can't blow out these huge walls here. Considering that on the probably about up to there, that's probably just a solid wall there. I don't know what it's like. It's just probably just a solid like wall there. All the way up to about there, you have the infirmary up to the corner of the infirmary. Blow that open. The Levolution in this game, they pushed it. And, yeah, don't get me wrong, I like Levolution, but it's not. I don't like it as much as I do on Battlefield 3. I also don't like that shit happening. Where did my grenade go? It landed right next to him. Fucking hell, he's just left a mark on the ceiling. And there's also 100 medics on this bloody server, and none of them will revive you. Everybody plays medic for the fucking assault rifles, the overpowered assault rifles. But then when it comes to reviving, they're just I've got to get to that fucking room. Right, how many times do I need to hit him?
Here's the ammo. Pick it up.
Or, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand running a grenade launcher in a health pack, but... I can understand that you don't always have defibrillators on, and you might have... But there's some people who just don't need... Or they have health pack on, but they just don't seem to use it either. Or they have something else on, like grenade launcher and decoy. What the fucking hell are you doing with a decoy as assault? I don't really have a use for the decoy as it is, because I find that, especially on lockers, which I play a lot of, that is apparent. There's not really anywhere where you want the enemy to think where you are. It's either you can either put it near where you are already, but you've already got enemies there. You don't want to draw them towards you. Right, I didn't press X. Number one. Number two, you killed me very quickly, considering that whenever I've seen to use a 5.56 LMG, or when I was using the 7.62 RPK earlier, I was having to hit people an astronomical amount of times, or in this case a shotgun as well, in close range, is being beaten by basically everything. I've chosen a bad night to come on. This is the exact reason why I fucking took a hiatus from it. And frankly, it's going to be another hiatus at this rate. Move your stupid fucking Yankee head. Get out of the way. Oh. Well, there's no swearing. It's gone out the window. Right. You know, shouldn't need that many bloody shots. And the thing is as well, what I was going to try and get onto is the inconsistency is what ruins shotguns. 1 minute you could hit, so you might come across a group of enemies, you fire at the furthest one away, he's 20-30 metres away, and you might kill him in 2 shots. There might be a guy 15 metres, you kill him in 1 shot, and then you think, okay then, and then you go on to the next guy who's point blank and you get a hit marker. And it's like, okay, so I killed the other guy in 1 shot, like 15 metres away, but it's just all over the place. Semi-auto shotguns you don't really have much of a benefit with them because you have to unload the entirety of the mag to kill someone, just for reassurance. The only one I'd really use are the mag-fed ones, the Sega and the DBV. I wouldn't use anything else because like the fucking trigger's jammed again. I have to point my controller up. I really need to get that piece of plastic out because that really ruins the experience. Because I have to hold the controller at an angle that's not particularly comfortable in my hands. Just to stop the controller jamming. Do they go for the bars or do they not go for the bars? But inconsistency is what kills this game. And overpowered vehicles. But inconsistency is infuriating. Because you can't cater, you can't counter or cater for inconsistency. Because no matter what you do, it becomes unpredictable. There's not a predictable way of doing stuff. Like the ranges, I could say if these were enemies, I could shoot them 2 there, take those 2 out in a single shot, go for that guy, hit him in the head, and get a hit marker. You just don't know what your shotgun's going to do when you pull the trigger. Sometimes as well, I've had a horrendous delay between the pumping of it and being able to fire a new round. And that again, with the inconsistency. I hit a guy about there 3 times, but he's 6 feet further away, so that constitutes a 6-shot kill by the looks of it. I don't know if I hit him 5 times. I hit him enough. Not even a kill assist. You have to be taking the piss, dice. Not even a kill assist. That was 2 hit markers after I just shot him in innumerable amount of times. Spot bonus. Not even a suppression bonus. A fucking spot bonus. This is what I mean. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. See, killed him in 1 shot at that range. I know it was a headshot, but headshots don't. I don't aim for headshots in this game because it just seems to be completely irrelevant. Unless I'm sniping, because some dick splash at dice thought, let's make snipers a 2-hit kill because that's balanced, and then we'll give people a DMR and a fucking pistol. That will be a 3-hit kill at any range that you use it at. And not only that, we'll give that pistol a scope, make it so you can use across all classes. And then we wonder why people run around close range with snipers, with sniper rifles, because they have to use them at those fucking ranges to get a 1-hit kill. Because apparently, a 3-3 Lapua Magnum round becomes non-lethal or less than lethal at 20 meters. A Lapua 3-3 Lapua round never becomes less than lethal. What, regardless of the range, the only time it's not lethal is when it's not being fired. Right, 10 and 11, okay? So when I hit that guy in the head over there, further away, I think the headshot multiplier was 2 times, so I would have somehow killed that guy in a one-shot headshot with 20, by doing 20 damage in total. Okay. And this is my go-to shotgun. I like using other things, but I will use the 870 if everything's becoming a pain in the arse. Oh, I might put the Phantom on actually, just fucking spam explosive ammo, arrows everywhere.
Grenade out! Taking too much fire!
Yeah, fuck it, let's do that. I'll use the Phantom bow in a while. Don't like it, but I'll use it just when I'm getting like in a shitty mood and no redeeming the night. It's a retarded weapon. What have I got on? Explosive tip. The only fucking ammo I'll use in it, because trying to hit someone with a fucking bow whilst they're jumping around like a bunny rabbit is almost impossible. I do prefer the crossbow in Battlefield 3 because at least you could cock it.
Got your ammo. Lead up.
Not gonna lie, could assist 35 for a direct hit on someone who had just been revived. Call me ungrateful. Only just 5 damage in the blast radius. I don't know what the use of these arrows are really. I like the splash damage, and that's really it. The splash damage is tiny. They don't do any damage to vehicles.
Throw a grenade!
Oh. Don't revive him there, he's just going to get killed immediately. Maybe he won't. I thought using the machine gun's kill zone, so don't be a fucking spurg and revive someone there, just for 20 points. Thing is, as well, the crossbow you could change between ammunition, which was quite good. Really? Don't know, mate. I've got a busy day tomorrow, so I've got a lot of outstanding orders. Might do it to the end of this server, or went until the point where I get pissed off to the point of no return. Shit. That's, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm too tired, I'm trying to concentrate whilst playing a first person shooter, it's not going to work. Well, yeah, I'll go on for as long as I feel like. Oh, shit. Oh, you haven't seen a bastard Robin Hood with his bow who is going to be any more annoying than me. Explosive rounds. I love my explosives. Oh shit, someone else likes them. Out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way.
Anyone got ammo?
Oh, thanks, teammate. Oh, nuts. It's going mad here.
Enemy soldiers. I need ammo here.
Now control objective Charlie.
Oh, fuck off, teammates. What are you doing? There's a guy right there. There's teammates. Too busy jacking each other off. For fuck's sake. What goes through their heads? Just standing there around. We have Delta. We have a front up here. Why is no one watching our asses? This is why it gets to the point where I can't be asked to watch I'm not going to watch the other teammates' backs if they're not going to watch mine. Then maybe they'll start realising how fucking annoying it is.
There's your ammo.
See, back here already. Where the fuck did he come from? Those guys behind us should have dealt with him. Fucking, I'm not in a good mood. I'm too tired. I was doing alright recently, staying calm at this game, and was having some decent times, but it's just too fucking late. And when you're having shit like that happening every 5 minutes, when you're hitting people with a shotgun and getting suppression assist, it wears you down slowly. I'll put fucking slug rounds on, although I'll put slug rounds on and got like a kill assist for 10. I hit a guy about 40 metres away with slugs, and I was like, you're telling me it's a 10 kill assist? And just... DICE, people went to DICE, oh, shotguns are overpowered, and DICE went, it's alright, we'll fix it by just making them inconsistent. It's like, no, what is a problem that I could sort of get on board with is frag rounds. And what they've done doesn't fix frag rounds. Ooh!
Throwing grenade. Ammo.
Ignore me requesting ammo. I'm fine on the ammo department.
Here's your ammo. Here's your ammo. Pick it up.
It does make me laugh that they throw smoke down, but they then have lasers. They turn their lasers on. That's not bother. I rarely ever have my laser on, even though I've got it on the shotgun. My jaw's gonna fall off in a second. My jaw couldn't hit the floor anymore with what just happened. A headshot. A fucking headshot. And you're telling me that it was a spot assist. So I'm gonna just call it a day now. I am just getting sick of this. I'm not enjoying this. It's not fun. It's infuriating me. I'm gonna end up waking the house up. So we're gonna take another break from Battlefield 4, probably for a bit longer this time. In fact, substantially longer. And hopefully, might be able to focus on some other things, like I've got some airsoft stuff I want to sort out. But I'm going to fucking kill somebody at this rate with this game. This is absolutely infuriating. A headshot with a shotgun, and you have the front to tell me that that is yeah, just, you know, red hit marker on there. Let's see what I get. Red hit marker, spot bonus. Yeah, DICE, you can absolutely swivel on it. If DICE's offices caught fire, I don't think anybody is going to be rushing over there with a fire extinguisher anytime soon. I don't think people would be particularly upset if DICE went out of business. And I don't support, you know, what people do, sending death threats and all that. Like I said, if the place caught fire, I don't think anyone would be particularly sympathetic with them, because at the end of the day, they are money-grabbing bastards. But I'm sorry, no. I hope DICE go out of business. I hope that the new COD cripples them, and I hope it absolutely ruins their franchise, because it is a shadow of what it used to be. So, unfortunately, this is when I'm going to call the stream now. It's too late. I'm too tired. This game's pissing me off. I'm not going to play it for a bit. And I've also noticed that the description of the stream hasn't carried over, despite the fact that I spent hours trying to get everything set up. It does that, so it's just further grinding my gears. But we're going to call it a night now. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the stream for some reason, because this stream's been really shit, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it around your mates, and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll catch you in the next one.